Hello and welcome to Craftiosity, where creativity comes to you. With monthly craft kits delivered to your door. Welcome to our Felt Applique Lavender Bag Craft Kit tutorial. In this video, we'll guide you step by step through creating a charming lavender bag that's perfect for gifting or adding a touch of handmade elegance to your home. Inside your craft kit, you'll find everything you need to make your own lavender bag, including a sewing needle and beading needle, lilac and white baker's twine, green and purple embroidery thread, your organza lavender bag, some white sewing thread, stuffing, gold seed beads, 6 felt squares, your design template, and a pair of folding scissors. In a pouch you'll also find your step-by-step photo instructions and a little something for your pin board. Start by cutting out your templates. Try to cut these out as carefully as possible to ensure your pieces will fit together when cut from felt. Place your templates onto the correct color of felt and draw around the template with your pencil. Carefully cut out each of your felt pieces, making sure to follow your pencil line so your pieces end up the correct size and shape. Cut one large circle from lilac felt and one from blue felt, then cut one small circle from yellow felt. Cut 2 clouds from white felt. Cut 1 semicircle from light green felt. Cut the 2 hill shapes from dark green felt. Cut as many lavender head shapes as you'd like from lilac felt. Cut a length of green embroidery thread roughly 40 to 50 centimeters in length. Separate 3 strands from the length of thread. Thread your needle with 3 strands and tie a knot in the opposite end. Take one of your 2 dark green hill pieces. Bring your needle through from the back to the front of the felt piece. Make a small diagonal stitch and go back into your felt from the front and out the back. Make a second diagonal stitch in the opposite direction that joins up with your first stitch to create a V shape. Make a third stitch, this one vertically, in the center of your V shape. Repeat this stitching process over both of your hill pieces to add a glossy texture to your work. Take your lavender pieces and arrange on the light green semicircle piece. Stitch the lavender pieces on one at a time using French knots to hold them in position. Separate off 3 strands of the purple embroidery thread. Thread your needle with the purple thread and tie a knot in the other end. Bring your needle through the green and the lilac felt from the back. Pinch the thread roughly 2 to 3 centimeters away from the felt. Place your needle on top of the thread, positioning the needle so that it's facing diagonally with the pointed tip towards the felt. Wrap the thread around the needle, wrapping towards the point. The more times you wrap, the larger your French knot will be. Keeping hold of your thread, push your needle back into the felt from the front. Make sure the needle goes in just next to where the thread came out, but not into the same hole. Pull through to form your French knot. Repeat this process to add more French knots to your first lavender head. You can add as many French knots as you'd like, then stitch the rest of your lavender heads on in the same way. Separate off 2 strands of your green embroidery thread. Thread your needle and tie a knot in the opposite end. Bring the needle through the light green felt piece, just below your first lavender head piece. Make a small stitch downwards, going back through the felt from the front to the back. Bring the needle back up through the felt, leaving a gap from the end of the previous stitch. Make a stitch going backwards, so your needle goes down into the end of the last stitch. Repeat this stitching process to create a stem for your lavender. Then stitch a stem for each of the remaining lavender heads too. Take your hill pieces and your foreground piece and position on the light blue circle shape. The bottom of the hill pieces should sit slightly underneath the foreground. Thread your needle with a length of white sewing thread and tie a knot in the end. Stitch your foreground and hill pieces into position next along the flat edge of the foreground piece using a running stitch. Bring the needle through both layers of felt from the back to the front. Make a small stitch and go back into the felt from the front to the back. Bring the needle back up from the back, leaving a space between the start of your next stitch and the end of your last stitch. Repeat this stitching technique across your felt shape. Keep your stitches small and even to give your work a neat finish. You don't need to stitch the outside edges, as these will be stitched later. Stitch around the inside curved edge of the 2 hill pieces using the same running stitch. Position your yellow circular sun shape onto the blue felt piece. Stitch in place with a running stitch. Next, arrange your 2 white cloud shapes, so one overlaps with the sun shape. Stitch both clouds in place with a running stitch. Embellish your sun with beaded sun rays. Thread your beading needle with a length of white sewing thread. Tie a knot in the opposite end of the thread. Bring the needle up through the blue felt, directly next to the sun. Thread a bead onto the needle and slide down the thread. Insert the needle back into the felt from the front, close to where it came out. Your bead should be secured in place. Add more beads in a row using the same technique, creating a line coming out from the sun. Repeat to add more beaded rays around the sun. Place your decorated blue felt circle on top of the lilac felt circle. Using the white sewing thread and a running stitch, sew the two felt circles together. Leave a gap roughly 10 centimeters wide at the top of your circles. Take small pieces of stuffing and begin filling your felt pouch. Once it is about a third full, place your lavender bag into the felt. Stuff the felt pouch the rest of the way, using a pencil or similar to ensure the felt is all the way into the edges of the pouch. Take your lilac and white twine and cut a piece roughly 20 to 25 centimeters in length. Fold in half and tie a knot at the cut ends to create a loop. Insert the knotted end of the twine loop into the gap in your felt pouch. The knot should sit inside the pouch, and the loop should sit outside. Stitch the gap at the top closed. Your lavender pouch is now complete. Hang in your wardrobe or place in a drawer to add the scent of lavender to your clothing. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we look forward to welcoming you to the next craft kit project next month.